Bitcoin is oxygen, and it's new. There are some people that are very comfortable in their existence, and they think it's okay to ignore it because they're rich and they're comfortable and they're happy.
In 12 months, what price will it be for Bitcoin?
We're modeling out about 175,000 for the price of Bitcoin by the end of this year. We think that the way that we're obviously starting to see this institutional adoption is really quite key.
Let me just, again, offer an example. There's one heated igloo on the North Pole. There's a guy at the front door. He charges admission, and you can buy a ticket for $1. You don't need the ticket. You like it outside. And then some politician turns down the temperature 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $10. And then some politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees. Oh, you still keep playing, no big deal. And you still don't know whether or not you can get in. But every intelligent person you know walked through the door before you, and they're fine waving at you saying, it's warm in here, you're gonna freeze to death, Brian. And the point is, every time the Fed or a banker prints 10 or 15% more currency, they are sucking 15% of the energy out of the financial system. And that is the situation with Bitcoin right now, which is a lot of people are working very hard to come up with some reason why they shouldn't trust a new thing.
Bitcoin, on average, has provided 2x returns every year for the last 11 years. In this video, Michael Saylor speaks on the resistance investors have to Bitcoin, how it will continue to 2x every year over the next 30 years, and the overall physics of Bitcoin. Make sure to stick around until the end of the video where we go over one piece of recent behavioral sentiment of Bitcoin and Ethereum data that suggests where the prices are likely to go from here. Also, only a tiny percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video.
It's been growing 200% a year every year for the past 11 years, and you're only going to have 30 years of your life in business. So how long are you going to stare at something which is a screaming successful thing in denial? Peter Schiff has been against Bitcoin for 10 years. He'd be a billionaire right now. He'd be a 10 billionaire right now if he had actually not been against it. You would lose, by the way, resisting it, you would lose 98 to 99% of your wealth over 5 years if you're in denial of this thing. So there's a cost to being in denial of stuff. Let me just, again, offer an example. You know, like, if you're on an airplane and somebody puts their elbow through a window and it starts depressurizing, and the oxygen gets sucked out of the airplane, and then the oxygen mask drops down from the compartment above, are you going to stare at it and debate with me for like 2 hours about all the black swans and whether or not the oxygen is safe and whether or not you should breathe the oxygen or whether or not you should not breathe the oxygen? Are you going to put the mask on? Like, because it's new. You've never used an oxygen mask in an airplane before. If I take you and I drop you in the middle of the ocean and you're 50 feet down with the weight around your neck and I hand you scuba equipment and a regulator, are you going to put it in your mouth? Are you going to debate with me and you're going to ask me to twist and try to, what if it's possible that some politician in some country passes some law making it illegal for me to put this regulator in my mouth? It's like, we're really reaching hard here to find a reason to not do the obvious. I want to give you another metaphor. You're at the top of the North Pole. It's 70 degrees. We're all playing Frisbee. There's one heated igloo on the North Pole. There's a guy at the front door. He charges admission, and you can buy a ticket for $1. You don't need the ticket. You like it outside. And then some politician turns down the temperature 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $10. Oh, you still keep playing, no big deal. And then some politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $100. And you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. I mean, what's in that igloo? It might be kind of dangerous in that igloo. I think I'll just stay there. So another politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and you're afraid of the igloo. It's dark in there, and maybe it isn't dark, and maybe the food's not so good. And I turn it down another 10 degrees. When it gets to 0 degrees and you're in t-shirt and you start getting bone chilled, the temperature, the price is going to go to $100,000 to get in. And you still don't know whether or not you can get in. But every intelligent person you know walked through the door before you, and they're fine waving at you saying, it's warm in here. You're going to freeze to death, Brian. And you're still standing there, and the guy cranks the temperature down, and there's a Peter Schiff standing next to you going, I don't think you should go into that heated igloo because it's possible the politicians will pass a law making it illegal or taxing you on that heated igloo. And then the politician cranks it down to minus 40 below, and Peter Schiff is still telling you, man, I don't know if it's safe in that igloo. And all your friends are saying, Brian, you idiot, why don't you come in here and stop freezing to death? It's fine here. You're going to die. And some dude is still going to, yeah, I know, but they haven't done anything for 14 years. But I don't think, I've never been in an igloo before. I'm afraid. And the point is, every time the Fed or a banker prints 10 or 15% more currency, they are sucking 15% of the energy out of the financial system. That's the same as sucking 15% of the oxygen out of your room. That's the same as lowering the temperature 10 degrees. When I suck the energy out of an adiabatic system, you have heat lapse. You will freeze to death if you don't suffocate. We have a currency collapse going on right now. The only difference is it was going on at 5% a year in the US. Now it's going on at 25% this year. It's going to go on 15% for the next 5 years. Same in Europe. It's collapsing at a faster rate in Argentina, Venezuela, Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, Turkey, Lebanon, fill in the blank. You can stand there living in fear that someone might hypothetically ask you to stop freezing or get out of the igloo. But on the other hand, there's 100% likelihood you're going to freeze to death if you stand where you are and do nothing. 100%. There's a 1% likelihood that when you actually move into the heated igloo, something unexpected is going to happen that you did not anticipate, or perhaps someone will object, but you'll be warm. And that is the situation with Bitcoin right now, which is a lot of people are working very hard to come up with some reason why they shouldn't trust a new thing. Meanwhile, it's quite clear that 7.8 billion people on the planet have a problem. Everybody with money on Earth is going to lose half their wealth in the next 48 months if they do nothing. If you're one of the billion people in a collapsing developed economy, you're going to lose everything if you do nothing. The solution is a digital monetary network that doesn't dissipate energy, that you can access where no one can corrupt it, and you can take personal custody of your money, of your monetary energy. Yes, there's uncertainty. For the first time in human history, we invented the thing. It's new, but it's not 1 year new. It's 12 years old. And you don't have to put 100%. By the way, when the oxygen mask drops out of the plane and you're traveling with your 10 kids, are you going to put the mask on one kid to see if they live and let the other 9 kids suffocate? Or are you going to put the mask on everybody? Or are you going to put your mask on yourself first? How afraid are you of suffocating versus how afraid are you of using the oxygen? Because Bitcoin is oxygen and it's new. And there are some people that are very comfortable in their existence and they think it's okay to ignore it because they're rich and they're comfortable and they're happy. There are some people that dabble in it. Like, I think I'll buy 1 or 2% because I'll speculate in it. And there are some people, like if I put you in Argentina and by the way, do you know the exchange rate in Argentina to the dollar right now?
No, I think I know it's inflating tremendously.
It used to be 1 peso to the dollar. and then it slid to 10 pesos to the dollar, and then it slid to 20 pesos to the dollar.
No, I know they actually write on it. They actually change, they just cross it out and add zeros and I had a guest on.
Then it slid to 40 pesos to the dollar. Then it slid to 80 pesos to the dollar. The black market rate is 140 pesos to the dollar. And the dollar has lost half of its value in the 10 years. Yeah. So you've actually lost, what is 1 divided by 280? It's like, if you're living in Argentina 4%. And you have any wealth to speak of, you lost 99% of it. Now,
right.
Are we going to sit and think about ways that we might it's hypothetically possible that a politician in Argentina will pass a law requiring that I disclose my Bitcoin or tax it or whatever. But are you going to suffocate your entire family and destroy everything you know based on the hypothetical possibility that someone might object to you choosing to not roll over and die? Because it seems like most of the world would like for us just all roll over and die and shut up and not make a big stink about it. It seems to me that if I come into your house and I start cranking the temperature down until I freeze your children, at some point, maybe you'll have the bravery to open the back door and walk into the backyard and maybe go find a new house. I mean, like, it's just a matter of courage and maturity at some point. And for those people that just want to spread fear and uncertainty and doubt, I mean, like, what's the future for humanity if we're going to live in fear of the solution to the problem that plagues us all?
So there's Michael Saylor on investors' resistance to Bitcoin. Now, for a recent piece of behavioral Bitcoin data, some very interesting behavioral analysis out from Sentiment, some data on investors' sentiment towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. So after last night's mini dip, with Bitcoin falling to the 55,000s and Ethereum breaking below $2,000, we can see that both the sentiment of investors on the future of both Bitcoin and Ethereum hit a 2021 low. Honestly, kind of shocking data considering how minor and tame last night's dip was. However, good news for both Bitcoin and Ethereum holders is that this low level of sentiment towards crypto assets has historically proven to be the best time to buy the underlying asset. You know what they say, be greedy when others are fearful. Let me know what you think of this behavioral analysis in the comments. I hope that provided you with some value. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, have a great day.